What's up, guys? It's Freddy Football, and we are coming off a heartbreaking Super Bowl loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. Props to those guys. Fantastic team, but we will be back. We'll be back stronger than ever after this offseason, guys. Now, to give you an idea, these are all the players who retired this year. A good amount of shocks. I did not think Henry Anderson was going to retire this year. Bobby Wagner, I thought he'd have another year or two left in him, you know. Our defensive tackle, John Jenkins, does retire as well. The big guy right in the middle made a good amount of plays since we signed him. Calais Campbell, Jason Kelsey, Brandon Graham. Age is the change agent in Madden football. And thankfully, we have one of the youngest teams. We're going to use this offseason to build on top of that team. Guys, you may wonder how we got 75 overall team to the Super Bowl in ALL-Madden, and you might be a little bit worried about what the future holds, making the game more challenging. That being said, we are going to be adjusting sliders and everything to make it harder on us, as well as we're going to try and change up our offense a little bit in this offseason. And we have a good amount of players who want to be re-signed. One of them is Cam Akers, and we have just been apart so far. We just have not been on the same page. Cam believes he should get a 3-year, $5 to $6 million deal, and I really don't want to commit that long to him. It's not because he's a halfback. He actually played very well for us throughout the year. He did get injured a good amount, but the reason why I'm iffy on it is because we have a lot of halfbacks, guys. And on top of that, I do want to aim for a little bit of realism, and in the real world, Cam Akers was worth a pick swap. And if you ask me, that does not equate to $5 to $6 million a year. Though it is a great value in Madden, it just really isn't in real life. So that being said, we're just not even gonna try to sign him. Van Jefferson is 28. He did have 1,000 yards this year, and he did perform very well for us, but I think it was really more of a systematic thing than it was Van Jefferson just being a great and lead player. We are gonna let him walk. Witherspoon, again, he definitely had some pretty solid moments with us this year, but he also has some bad moments. I just think we can find a better, more long-term solution replacement this offseason. Duke Shelley, same kind of thing. Braxton Berrios never even touched the field. Before we sign Ben Bredson, we're going to go ahead and see what this offseason has, really, because offensive lineman is definitely something we're interested in, and Ben is going to be more of a backup. I don't really feel the need or feel any urgency in having to sign him right now. I'd rather let him hit free agency and maybe get a bigger contract elsewhere. Same with the rest of these guys. I mean, all the important ones we really already signed again, and all of these other ones that are kind of fringe players are all people that I feel confident we can get in free agency again. So, you know, it just kind of is what it is. We are not going to be re-signing some of these players. And another change that we made to make it a little bit more challenging on ourselves, I repeat, I am not going to be allowed to use other offensive playbooks than the one that my offensive coordinator is provided with. So this hiring makes a big difference. And looking at all these different options here, I am between Seattle and Las Vegas. We had the San Francisco 49ers playbook all of last year, and obviously it just doesn't seem right to go ahead and pick this guy up. That being said, we're between Seattle and Las Vegas, and I think we're going to end up choosing Luis Ramirez with the Seattle Seahawks playbook. And likewise, the same exact case with the defensive coordinator. We have our former defensive coordinator, Scott Anderson, up here as an option as well. But I think this year we are going to do Miami. We are getting Jackson Pierce, and hopefully he can build on the success that we've had last year. And let's go ahead, let's advance to next week and see who's in free agency this year. We have $63.5 million to play with. Yeah, definitely have one of the biggest salary caps. And Rashawn Gary is an option up here, as well as Tyrone Smith, Stephon Gilmore, Mike Williams, Christian Wilkinson, Michael Pierce, Cam Akers, of course, is up here. OBJ, Hunter Henry, Eric Armstead, Sterling Shepard, Khalil Mack. That'd be an interesting pickup right there. Josie Jewell, Devin White. Ooh, I do like me some Devin White, I'm not gonna lie, but I think we definitely don't need him. Let's see what we have for quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins is up here. And if you know anything about me, I am a Vikings fan in real life, so this is naturally a pretty tempting opportunity. Baker Mayfield, Tannehill, Marcus Mariota. Guys, I think one of the biggest things we are missing is a solid tight end. Ever since we got rid of Tyler Higbee, we've just been needing someone. That being said, we're going to go ahead and offer to the veteran, Zach Ertz. We're going to offer him 2-year, $6 million deal. Shave a little from the top because it doesn't seem like he has many suitors. Guys, one of the other areas we have been struggling is on the defensive line. We've really had to bring a lot of blitzes to get people free, and I am hoping that a player like Rashawn Gary could see himself in the blue and gold. We're going to go ahead and offer him, even though he is not necessarily fond on the idea of us. We are going to do our best to make sure we are up there at the top of his teams. And another player we're looking at picking up potentially in replacement of Witherspoon is CJ Henderson. First round pick out of Florida. We are one of his top options. Guys, let's go ahead. Let's evaluate these offers and see if any of these offers land. And we got both Rashawn Gary and CJ Henderson and Zach Ertz, maybe? Zach Ertz is just holding on till the end of days to accept our offer. But hey, we got a big time playmaker, 6'5", 277 out of Michigan. An absolute beast for the Packers today. And he has 86 speed, 92 power, 78 finesse, 73 block shed, 90 awareness. He has that bull rush, and he has got to be one of the better edges in the game today. 90 injury, and he is our new defensive end, Rashawn Gary, baby. Remember the name because he is going to pull out all the stops. Let's go ahead and take a look at this most recent mock draft. This Steven Riles guy has got to be an absolute beast. He is a unanimous first pick in the NFL draft. He has to be an absolute freak. He was one of our spotlights, and with his combine coming in, he doesn't look like necessarily the best person. But when you look at his skills, he's an absolute freak. A impact block, A awareness, A pass block, finesse, and those are just the guaranteed ones. The first quarterback does not come off the board until pick 16. Then soon following is Bryce Stern at 19, and we're going to be near the back half of this. Who do they have us taking? They have us taking the field general out of Virginia Tech, 6 foot, has some pretty alright stats all around, not too bad. C injury, A medium accuracy, which is very, very interesting to me. solely because Stetson Bennett has struggled with that. Let's go ahead and get to next week. I'm not too concerned about free agency anymore. We got some big time signings, so I really can't complain. Okay, this is someone we probably have to move up for. Antonio Swan, another player we highlighted in the regular season, but looking at his attributes, this guy looks absolutely insane. 4.34, 4.27 speed. He's not the strongest guy out there, but he has elite speed, elite jumping, elite agility, and elite acceleration. Good change in direction as well. He might be a very interesting guy to have as Cam Akers' replacement with an A catching as well. He very well could be our guy if we want to move up in the draft. Yeah, he's looking like an absolute beast, and he'd be playing, like I said, in that Cam Akers role where he's in as our third down back, getting open for passes and everything, and that role is a very important role for us. Cam Akers played it well, and there are definitely some plays that Cam Akers left out there on the field solely because he's just not the fastest, and this kid has run a 4.27. So he is an absolute beast. That may be someone we look to move up for. And another LSU guy, Jay Milner, 6'2 cornerback, A catching, A to C man, A to C press, B zone coverage. Doesn't have the best physical attributes, but he has an elite jumping, undoubtedly. 40-inch vertical. This guy may very well have a 99 overall jumping, which is absolutely insane. B to D injury, B to D stamina, and B awareness. He could be someone else we look to move up for. Guys, here is the free agency recap. Rashawn Gary, of course, signing with us. The Titans getting Tyrone Smith, Stephon Gilmore, Mike Williams going to the Bears. Same with Christian Wilkins and Michael Pierce. The Bears making big moves with a big salary cap that they have. And lo and behold, Cam Akers ends up going to the Vikings, the same team he is on in real life. Like we said, he got traded for a pick swap, and everything in the world is right. That's all I gotta say about that. OBJ signing with the Lions. Hunter Henry signing with Washington. Pretty solid deal there for him. Eric Armstead going to the Texans. Khalil Mack going to Detroit as well. The NFC North is really stacking up. And Devin White going to the Vikings. Same with Byron Jones, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Man, the NFC North is making moves. Isaiah Simmons going to the Falcons. Noah Fant is going to the Titans. Guys, I'm sure you're interested. Zach Ertz did end up signing with us. So those are some of the big signings in free agency. Let's go ahead and get some private workouts going here. And the players that we're looking to bring in for a workout: Bryce Stern, Antonio Swain, and Marcel Sullivan. All offensive players. With our free agent signings being on the defense, those are the guys who interest us a good amount. And Bryce Stern is around 1 to 2 talent, projected a top 5 pick. And Antonio Swain is projected a top 5 talent as a halfback. That could be someone we look to move up for right there, man. Round 1 talent for Alec Devlin, and Marcel Sullivan is a round 1 to 2 talent here. And he is looking like the best tight end for verticality, man. Number 1 in a lot of great stats here. And dude, just look at those stats, man. He is a freaking tank, and maybe we're able to get him. All right, guys, let's start the NFL draft. And first up is going to be the Washington Commanders. We do not pick until the very end of this draft. Let's see who the Commanders pick. And with the first pick of the draft, the Commanders select Steven Riles, left tackle out of Alabama. Definitely one of the best left tackles to ever come out of Alabama. And that's saying something for such a great and competitive team over all these years. Steven Riles is looking like an absolute beast out there. And next up on the clock is the Arizona Cardinals, and they are going to pick Josh Foles, right outside linebacker out of Tennessee. Then the Saints are going to be up, and they are going to pick Nick Killings, left outside linebacker, North Carolina. So far, 3 picks. So far, 0 quarterbacks. We have 2 edge rushers and a left tackle. Just shows you how the game's changing, and the Detroit Lions are up next. Will they take a quarterback? And they are going to take right tackle Ron Norwood out of Georgia and bolster an already great offensive line. They believe in Jared Goff, and they're going to continue to believe in Jared Goff. And the Detroit Lions making some great moves in free agency, much like the Bears, the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears are going to select with pick 5 Raymond Butler, edge out of Penn State, and the Colts are going to select Sharif Ware, safety out of UCF. And next up is the Packers, completing 3 out of 4 of the NFC North with pick 7, and they are going to select LaShawn Boykin, right tackle out of Louisville. Cincinnati is up next. They are going to select Lamar Phillips, wide receiver out of Miami. And here we go. The Cardinals are back up. One of their 2 picks. The Cardinals selected the right outside linebacker out of Tennessee with pick number 2 this draft. Let's see what they do with pick 9. They're going to take left tackle Ty Simpson out of Florida. Right tackle Braden Shields out of USC. The Seattle Seahawks are up next. They are going to select Anthony Baker, right guard out of Virginia Tech. Following the Seahawks is the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens are going to select Evan Hamilton, cornerback out of Kansas. And the Chicago Bears are back up. Who are the Bears going to select? I could see them going with quarterback, or I could see them picking up Antonio Swain here, who's obviously an elite talent. We're going to roll the dice, and the Chicago Bears are going to select LaMichael Fowler, left outside linebacker out of USC. Now I'm going to take a breath of release because the Pittsburgh Steelers have Najee Harris, so they likely are not selecting anyone that is a halfback here, and they're going to get Clark Cummins. And the Raiders have Josh Jacobs. They're also not likely selecting any halfback. They're going to get Zahir Malone, and Saquon Barkley is on the Giants. They're not likely going to pick up a halfback. However, the Patriots are next up, and we're going to see if we can maybe trade up and cut off the Patriots here. We're giving them Ernest Jones, Zach Evans, for some dude who's getting paid 4.3 at 65 overall, and Paul Quisenberry, just to make it right, a first, a second, a fourth, and a fifth to move up to pick 16. Just like that, we're doing a 4th, and it is accepted. And here we go. We are on the clock, and guys, you already know who we are going to select. It has to be this halfback, Antonio Swain. Welcome to the LA Rams. Go, baby. 5'8", 95 speed, 94 acceleration, 87 change your direction, 96 agility. This guy actually looks like a freaking beast. There's Simmons to our pick. Let's see who is up here. Yeah, back-to-back picks, and Marvin Nicholson is still up here. Very interesting. Projected top 5 pick. I mean, clearly he's not that great, but he has some really good abilities, good skills. I mean, a little bit of competition isn't a bad thing, right? Alright guys, hear me out. I know that I preach size all the time. But A awareness, A impact block, A pass block, A to C run block. One of the stronger people and one of the most agile centers in this draft class. A to C injury. We're gonna get Bobby Nash out of Clemson here, and he is a hidden depth. Let's go! And backing up his teammate is gonna be Zach James, 6'4", 341 out of Clemson. He's gonna be our left guard. We're gonna have some big old boys up front. Back-to-back picks to Clemson offensive line. And he is a normal, but he has some solid strength. He could definitely be a fantastic starter for us. Let's go ahead to the next pick. We're going to go ahead and pick up tight end Jack Leno, 6'3", out of Georgia. Not the fastest tight end in the draft, but he looks to be a pretty solid all-around tight end. Sometimes that's all you need. So we're going to pick up Jack Leno to back up Zach Ertz, 85 speed, 90 excel. Looking like he could be a pass catching machine. For our next pick in the third round, we're going to pick up the beast out of Tennessee. We love defensive players out of Tennessee. 6'4", 349, Dalton Winston. Definitely looking like he's going to bolster up our defensive line, and we have the means, baby. 95 strength. Big boy up front, we love it. We're going to look to get a playmaker out of Texas. Rashad Stark has some amazing player notes, pretty solid physicals, but really where he really makes his money is going to be here in the skills department. He's just going to be an after-catch demon, and that's someone we'll always take on our team. And 92 speed, not too shabby. One of the few right tackles who is still available is Chris Estrada, 6'7", 310 on Nevada, and mama, I can change him. Oofta. We're going to go ahead and look to trade away some of these round 5 picks. We really got all that we wanted out of this draft. We're going to trade it to Tennessee for a 5th, a 7th, and another 7th. Go ahead and pick up Harvey Poole, strong safety out of North Carolina. Has all the attributes of someone who could be a backup for this team and maybe even get in. 89 speed, looking good at the safety position. We're going to go ahead and pick up 6'5", physical receiver out of Delaware State, running a 4.42, and he's 6'5". You know, the rest of the stats not quite there. He was a projected 3rd to 4th round, but we're going to need some more receiver help this year. So, speed rusher Joe Bradley with a hidden dev is going to be our 6th round pick here. Out of Syracuse. I mean, hey, I'll take a hidden dev, man. And another Tennessee defensive player, Andrew Calhoun, is going to be on our team. And somehow, 7th round pick is going to be Kendrick Hamlin. 6-foot zone player with some of the best combine stats for jumping here. And he looks like an absolute beast, maybe even a starter for us. Don't know what that was. There is no draft clock on. We have no more remaining picks. Oof. All right, and let's take a look at our rookies. And 80 overall, Antonio Swain. 83, Bobby Nash. 75 left guard. 74 tight end. 74 defensive tackle. 73 wide receiver. He kind of fell off near the back half here, but I mean, that's a pretty solid draft all around, especially for a team that has a lot of holes. I'm curious Bobby Nash and Swain are the top 2 overall players here. Somehow we got them in the middle of the first round, in the middle of the second round. And of course, Steven Riles is right up there. No one would have ever thought any other way. And Swain is tied for the fastest player with Jamal Moore and Dom Foster, who both are going to Falcons. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the offseason here. This is Freddy Football. I'm excited to giving you guys highlights of the preseason. Go ahead, show your support. Make sure to hit that red button. See you later.